Hi, I'm Carolyn Weislein, and I'm representing the Central Florida Society for Historic Preservation with Marla Picklesheimer. And we're meeting today with Ms. June Lormann of Longwood. And I thank you, June, for talking with us. We want to know a little bit about you and your history of your family and your life in Longwood. And I'd like to start today by asking you when you first came to Longwood.
In 1957.
In 1957. So, will you tell us where you were from and when you met your husband Al?
Well, originally I'm from South Carolina, but I've lived in Florida most of my life.
Oh, okay.
And I was working in Jacksonville, and I met my husband. He was in the Navy, and I met him in Jacksonville.
In Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. So you married there at Jacksonville? Or?
I was married in Jacksonville, yes, at the United Methodist Church.
And did you come here, because he was in the Navy, did you come here to this area because of the Naval Air Station, or no?
No, I don't know. I'm sorry, I can't remember just.
That's okay.
My husband and his father came down, and they built those homes there on Wildmere Avenue.
Oh, yes.
3 of those homes.
I knew you told me about that before. Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
And then we were in the restaurant. Before that, though, we were in the restaurant business in Sanford.
Okay.
My face is... I have a problem with this.
Don't worry about it. You're fine. Just go ahead.
Anyway, let me... Oops, what am I doing?
No, do you want me to turn it off a little bit?
Oh, no, that's fine.
Okay.
Do you need a Kleenex, honey, or something? Is that what you were looking for?
No.
Okay.
I was looking for
Go ahead. You were saying you had the restaurant business.
Yeah, we were in the restaurant business in Sanford. We had a very lucrative restaurant there.
Oh.
And we sold it. Then we got it back.
Well, I didn't know you then.
No.
What was the name of your restaurant?
Lormann's.
Lormann's?
Mm-hmm.
Where was it located in Sanford?
Right close to 25th Street.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. You remember Jim Spencer's place?
Yes.
Well, we were right on that same side.
Oh, you were on that
right
same side of there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know, in the Marcinelle cabins or whatever they were.
Yes. Some kind
Well, we were right next to that.
little tourist place there.
Mm-hmm.
We used to go to Sanford because it is the county seat. And
You
when we
might have
first
eaten
moved
at our place.
in Longwood, we didn't have many places to go for,
Mm-hmm.
church or banking and so on. So people did sort of go to Sanford first sometimes, and then gradually move about, and you finally got to Longwood.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you come to Longwood? Because he was going to build those houses?
Yeah, my husband and his partner started that. What's the name of it?
Well, the subdivision or the
that subdivision. Skylark,
Yeah.
not Skylark.
Oh, no? Okay.
Longdale.
Oh, yes, Longdale.
Longdale.
Out of Longwood there.
Mm-hmm.
I think I did know that, but I'd forgotten about that because I didn't. Somebody pictured him as being in the building business. I wasn't sure what Al did. All I knew was he was in the Navy and he met that.
Yeah. No, he was in real estate.
And real
that
estate.
Was his,
Yes, that's what I really remember best about him. So when you came to Longwood, then you lived there. Where are you living now? You're still living in the same place? You built those houses on Wildmere Avenue. And
we lived there.
And you've been there all these years. And you're still there in the same house? That's wonderful. So how many years is that, you think, about? So, since 19?
A long time.
53 or whatever, when you were married. Well, I know you have some early memories of Longwood. And can you tell us how much you think it's changed, or something that you could think of in particular? That
absolutely. It's changed. When we moved here, Wildmere was a dirt street.
Yes, that's right.
And all the paving that's gone on, and the different businesses in Longwood. And
well, I didn't live on Wildmere, but it happened that I met the Eldridges and the Hammonds
Mhm.
through my husband's parents, and we became good friends.
Mhm.
And so it was that I, later when I had my Janie, we got asked Miss Blanton, she called her Nana, Inez Blanton, to help look after Janie.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I had made the acquaintance with you and with others on that street, some of which were through the Women's Club,
Right.
and but some other ways. And so I know a lot of people on that street, and used to be visiting up and down that street quite a lot, even though I didn't actually live on Wildmere.
There's
But
new
you
people
can name
on,
some of those. You
there
and
are
I,
new people
we were
on
talking the other day about it. And
the
you can name-
Rosses, you know,
Yes, the
Dottie and
Rosses.
Jim Ross.
She was a 4-acre,
Uh-huh.
Dottie.
She lives across the street from me.
Yeah, I think I'm going to call her.
Mhm.
And they're still there, aren't
Mhm.
they?
Mhm.
And we mentioned the Mitchells.
Uh, and the Watts, they live next door to me.
Okay, the Watts.
Mhm.
How about the...
And the Blantons down
Yes,
the
as we
street.
mentioned earlier, the Blantons.
Mhm.
She had a son and 3 or 4 daughters. Do you know them? Did you know them at all, the Blantons, very well? Jennifer and Susan.
Well, my
and-
kids did,
Yeah.
I didn't.
Our kids and your kids were almost the same age.
Mhm.
Your Jim, you have a boy, Jim, and 2 daughters.
Jimmy
right?
and Sandy are twins.
Oh, they are. I didn't realize they were twins.
Mm-hmm.
Jim and Sandy were twins.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then Linda is your younger one.
No,
You
she's
got
the
3.
oldest.
She's older,
Mm-hmm.
so she's still at home with you.
Mm-hmm.
And she answers the phone so nicely whenever I call. She's always so good
Well, thank you.
about messages and so on. So she's your helper at home. And
Yeah, I don't know what I'd do without her. I couldn't work without her.
and Jim is in is he in real estate at one time?
And, well, he's still
Is that what
somewhat
he's
he's in real estate, but he works for Century Bank.
Oh, okay.
Embark.
Embark.
It
All
was
right.
Embark, but
Yeah.
they've changed it to
Now it's Century lately. It's been called. I think it used to.
And he's been with them for 30 years.
And so it's his wife. He and his wife who own. No, it's not. It's Sandy, your other daughter,
Yeah.
whose husband owns
Yeah.
this place where you are now today.
Right. Uh-huh.
Called Honeycutt
Paul
Plumbing.
and Sandy Honeycutt.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
Sandy is your daughter, and her husband own this place.
Right. Mhm.
But I've met Sandy some years ago, but I don't think I've ever met Paul. But they've been in this business for quite a while, have they?
About 25 years.
Oh, that many
now.
years?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize it was that long.
Yeah, it's been a
So
long time.
have they always been right here in this place?
Well, he started in his home, but he's been here most of the time. In the same place.
So I don't
I've
see
been
them
here
when
20 years.
So when I come around, I don't see them. I see you here only.
Mhm.
Are you call yourself a receptionist, or what do you call yourself?
I don't know. I'm
Office manager,
jack
or-
of all trades.
And you answer the telephone and take messages and
And I do
set up appointments and
paperwork. and all,
Paperwork.
Yeah.
and help them out.
Mhm.
So that's great, June, that you
Yeah,
have
they're
that.
gone now. They're on.
I
They
was
went to
hoping
the
I would meet
mountains.
them. Oh, they're in the mountains.
Yeah.
Now, when did your
They're
husband?
supposed to be home today. I was hoping they'd
I
get
know.
here.
I'd like to see Sandy again.
Well, you'll have
I
to
doubt
come
if she'd
back.
remember me though. But anyway, when did Al die? I'm trying to think. Was it like 75? Somewhere around-
68.
Oh, 68?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was more recent than that.
August 4th, 1968.
And your son Jim, and you, and Al, your husband, all 3 have served as mayors
Right.
at one time or another of the city of Longwood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many families can say that?
Yeah.
This is very unusual.
Well, Al served about 10 years, almost 10 years, and I served 13, and Jimmy 2 years.
And were you were on the council? You were a councilwoman
Mm-hmm.
that many years
Mm-hmm.
as well as
Well, actually, on the council.
on the council. For that
And I
many
was
years.
the mayor 3 different
Yeah.
times.
I like your plaques on the wall. I like us to get some interesting notes about those. If you could tell us what they're for, and maybe a little shot of those. If you tell us what they're for, That one on the right there
This
of the Lormann?
this one is the Tri-County League. I was the president of the Tri-County League, which is Orange, Seminole, and Osceola County.
Okay, the Tri-County League,
Mhm.
and you were president?
Tri-County League of Cities.
Of cities,
is how
and you
it
were
reads.
president.
And I was president.
I didn't realize that, June.
Mhm.
That's great. What's that one on your left there with the little gavel on it? The little one there on the
What's
left.
the glasses?
Right there below. Wait, start.
And this one.
Oh, either way.
Oh, okay. This one is deputy mayor in 1986.
Okay, now you'll have to stand up to the side so she gets that instead of the back of your head.
Okay.
Okay. Deputy mayor.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that was just
I was
before
deputy
being
mayor
mayor.
about 4 different
Yeah,
times.
okay.
yeah.
Oh, were you? Hi.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And this one is
The light is hard to make hard
I
to
was
read,
the
doesn't it?
mayor here, and
Yeah, that was when you were the mayor.
but that's not. This is the one that I was the mayor,
Oh.
and
okay.
this one I was the president of the.
Presented to
Can't remember what it is.
Mayor June Lormann, an appreciation of distinguished service as chairman.
Calno.
Oh, the Council of Calno.
Mhm,
Yes.
I was president of Calno.
That was, which means CALNO.
It's Castleberry,
Council
Altamont.
Altamont,
and-
Longwood.
and-
What was North Orlando?
no.
We used to call it, North Orlando. What we
Oh,
call now Winter Springs.
Yeah, that's
We used to
what-
call it North Orlando.
That's what
remember?
it was. It was Winter
It was, I
Springs.
bet you, North
Thank
Orlando,
you.
and it's now Winter Springs. We call it that, but a lot of people don't know that's what it used to be called. Calno. Okay. So you've had quite a lot of distinguished positions.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about the one with the bigger up at the top there. We didn't
This
get.
one?
That's the one that was when you were the mayor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. And that is. I'm trying to read it from here, but anyway, it has your
This
name
one
on it.
was from 82 to 83.
Okay. And that's a good picture of you as mayor. That's very nice, June.
Yeah,
It's
I
good
like
that you have those there. You can show those off like that.
And
people
that's
coming
Jeff
in.
Gordon. He's my buddy.
I like him too. I think a lot of women like him because he's so good looking. So you're into NASCAR? Are you into NASCAR racing?
Mhm.
My son-in-law got me started. I love it too.
NASCAR and the Gators.
Oh, me too. How about you, Marl? Are you for the Gators? No.
Oh, no, I never watched.
No Gator?
No, she says no.
No, I'm not from Florida. I didn't go to
Oh,
college in
that's
Florida.
Where are you from?
Illinois,
Oh.
University of Illinois.
How
You-
long have you been down
A
here?
long time, since
Oh, you have?
71, but I
Oh.
went to college.
Your kids did attend Lyman, all
Yeah.
3 of them,
All 3 of them.
and as did mine.
And graduated.
And graduated from there, right? And so then they've gotten into other, as we mentioned earlier, other occupations. They've all essentially lived here, around the area.
Yes.
And
Can I skip the dates? Do you remember the exact dates when your husband was mayor and when you were mayor? The years?
My husband was mayor, I think. When we first came here, I think he started like in 1957. His parents lived there first, and then we moved. And so he served from about 57 to
I know you thought about 10 years. You told
67
me
or
one-
something like that.
Yeah.
And then,
He was a good mayor, too. He was very
yes, he
good.
was. He was
He
Do
just
you
here.
fair.
remember any issues that were important during the time?
Pardon?
Any issues or things that were important during the time that
She
you
had several issues that she was strong
Or
on.
when you were mayor, either
Yeah, when
one.
she became mayor, she was...
Well, you know, like, or first of all, this Tri-County League,
Mhm.
I had the commission when we had Mr. Grant and so forth there. They didn't want to join in anything, and I insisted. I finally got them to join, and that was a good thing for Longwood. And
You know that I recall Longwood was inclined to want to stay a small town, a sleepy little town. And they were reticent about joining and getting into things and progressing. It was hard for them to understand about growing and improving in Longwood. And we had problems there for a lot of years.
Well,
with,
some of the older
some of
people
that.
didn't want it.
yeah, the older people wanted to stay the way it was.
Stay the way. And
And I
my
remember
husband,
that.
when my husband, they hated my husband when he first went in because he
I
wanted
think
to
they hated
change.
him, you know, but
He was a very smart man, but he was before his time, I think, because he would have built up Longwood long before it was built up. But he didn't have a commission that would.
What, do you feel good now about the growth and progress of Longwood? Do you feel,
Me? Oh yes.
Mhm.
I think the commission's been doing a good job. When I was in there, and they had a reporter, the Sentinel, and she came down and she would put all kinds of stuff in the paper, and we were trying so hard. But anyway, she tried to.
Controversial things you mean?
Yeah.
Kind of like
Yeah,
would raise
and
a
she always wanted to put us all
speculation.
down.
Yes.
Do you remember her name?
Probably just
Newspaper
as well.
reporter? Newspaper?
Probably just as well if she doesn't name any names.
I can't think of her name.
June, what were some of the other things you did? I have down here that you were in the Women's Club, of course, which I was, and you were president at one time. Did you serve more than once as president? Weren't you president and then again later another time, or am I mixed up about that? Might be your commission.
Or maybe vice president, probably.
Okay. I have a lot of clippings, you know, that I'm going through now, as I've mentioned before, from the Women's Club, and run across a lot of pictures of you. So I was just wondering, are there any other things that you could tell us about that you've done, that some of your accomplishments, you know, church-wise, socialized, social activities. Basically, to me, you're a politician. To me, you're interested in city politics and the interest of the people and that kind of thing, you know, helping Longwood to grow and become a better city.
Did you vote yet?
Yes, I voted by absentee ballot, actually.
I've got to run over there.
Oh, you
after
haven't
work.
voted yet?
No, but I will.
You certainly should. I know you will.
Yeah.
So that is my picture of you. What I get of you when I think about you is that you're always active in this kind of thing. These associations that you told us about here, where you have the plaques here, and that was the way you were, the way you are. That's your personality, and always trying to improve and help the city and doing better, a good job. I just wondered if you had any other accomplishments that you would like to tell us about, or any other things you can think of that you've done. Anything that comes up. Are you a member of the church anywhere? You go to church?
I'm not a member now, but I was a member of the Methodist Church in Castleberry.
You mentioned the Methodist
and that's where
before,
we go.
where you were married. And you did go to Castleberry Church. See, there are a lot of people we know in Longwood who went to that church. And actually, my son was in the scout troop there, and he made Eagle. He became an Eagle Scout. So we were down there a lot to that church. And we know the Castleberries. You know, the family.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know any of them, the Castleberries?
Well, I did.
Yeah. Jean was a writer for the newspaper.
Right.
And she's still active as I am in the Historic Society in Seminole County.
Is she?
Yes, the county group. And so I see her every now and then, and we visit. So that's another family they're not really Longwoodites, but we're friends with them because they're Castleberry and Longwood sort of intertwine occasionally in situations like that. The Whiteheads, I plan to talk to Frayne, as she was when she was younger, but Frayne Whitehead. Fern is somehow, some way related, I think, to the Hookers who had a house over there on the lake in Castleberry. The lake there where the little old cemetery was, of Concord.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try to talk with her because she lives now in Longwood and has for 40, 50 years, I guess. Can you think of any other old-timers besides those old wild mares, which we covered pretty well? But anyone that you knew or that you were active with in any organizations, or anyone of the old folks that you can remember? I know we mentioned the Hickson
Well,
and Betty Jean
Elder's not
Eldages.
old,
The Eldages.
but Elder Nichols.
Elda Nichols. And she also wrote for the Herald, for the Sanford Herald. She was a writer too.
I understand she's not feeling well.
She's not well. She's not too well right now. I'm going to call her though and talk with her. I don't know if we would try to get her on an interview or not. I understand that he has recently been put into a nursing home now.
Oh, really?
And I don't know how she manages alone because he used to do everything there.
Well, she's got 2 sons.
Yes, I know she has one son that was with Walter in the band at Lyman. So I'm going to call Elda.
I
Anybody
wonder
else
if
you
one
can
of
think
them lives here because I always see that little red car there.
Okay.
And,
I'm glad to know that because I don't go by there that much.
And I know that's not her car.
Well,
And
maybe somebody's staying with her because she's really not well. As I saw her, she was very frail. Very frail. But she is
Well,
the one
she
who
wasn't
spearheaded, you know, she and I spearheaded the possibility of having a museum. That was her idea and mine as well. We decided, well, we had to disband the Women's Club, which you probably remember.
Oh, yeah.
We had to give it up. Why? We decided to give the building to the society with the
You know, that was
understanding.
unfortunate, though.
It was, wasn't it? Unfortunate.
That we couldn't have really got
Certainly no feather in my cap since I was president at that time. We had about, 6 or 8 women left that were just like in their 80s.
If we could have just gotten some of the younger people.
Yeah, we needed young
involved.
people and just couldn't to get people. By those days, people are now still, young people are working. Almost all young
Well,
people.
yeah.
Busy working during the week and can't come out to daytime meeting, weekday meetings. So that was our problem. We had mostly older women. So, but you were very active in the Women's Club. We had a lot of different jobs and did a lot of things and have a lot of clippings of us together, a lot of us. And one thing we did that we were very proud of was the Old Timers Reunion. When we get everybody together once a year from all around and talk over old times and everybody come in and have food and good times talking.
Oh,
Wasn't that fun?
yeah.
Yeah. That was one of the best things we ever did.
Yeah, that was good.
I was remembering the Grants. Did you know the Grants very well?
Oh, yeah.
And he was on the.
Did I ever
He
know?
was also a mayor of Longwood. And did you?
Yeah, he and I tangled a
You
lot.
tangled with him a little bit.
Can you tell us about some of those tangles?
Yeah.
Some of the issues?
I can't remember this.
You don't remember any
No,
of that?
I
He was not an easy person to get along with anyway.
But you know, he and
Mr.
I
Grant.
became good friends, so.
He had really, I think he had a soft heart. He really meant well.
He did.
But he had a kind of a gruff way about him. And he would argue with people. And being the mayor
Yeah,
was
he's like that.
being the mayor, he sort of took it. He took his
But you know
chance
what?
to do that.
You know, his son-in-law didn't want him to be mayor.
Oh, he didn't. Is that Sybil's husband or which one?
Yeah,
Sybil's
Sybil's
Sybil
husband.
comes.
Because he wasn't. He was really a nice person, and I liked him, and we got along. But he was just. I don't think uncouth is the word I want to use. I think that's a little hard.
Well, yeah, but that idea.
But
that
yeah.
idea.
Uh-huh.
Just, as I said, kind of gruff and just
And that's why his
pretty
son-in-law
forward
didn't want
about
him
some things and said what he thought sometimes when he
His
shouldn't.
son-in-law liked me as the mayor.
Isn't he a minister?
He's a minister.
Sylvia, Sybil's
They live in
husband.
Ocoee.
Ocoee?
I saw him at whose funeral?
Their funeral. Hers, probably.
Yeah,
That's when I saw him last.
yeah. That's
And
probably.
she was the minister, a lady minister, one minister, Mrs. Grant, of the, I'm sorry
Pentecost.
to say, this Pentecostal church,
Uh-huh.
which is north of me there, a few blocks north of me there in Longwood. And quite an accomplished woman, really.
Yeah, she's very smart.
I found out at her funeral that she was a musician, which I knew very little of. And she always was praised for her ability to get along with her husband because, as we said, he was difficult. And she got along with that man and they lived together for 50 years.
Yeah.
And when she died, he was just crushed, absolutely just crushed. But he died not too long after.
Yeah.
But they did have children, and Patsy was in school with Brancy, I think it was, my daughter.
Sybil.
Sybil was the older daughter, wasn't she?
Yeah, she lived up there.
Near you?
No, you know where the cemetery is?
Oh, yeah, that's where they always have lived, off of the, oh, in Grant. That
It
is
was
the
on
name of the
Grant.
street. It was named after their family. Yeah, near the cemetery, north of me. And she married...
We've got a street named after us, too.
And we do, too. Yeah, Vice Lines. And you do, too? Lormann Circle. Yes, you do. In Longdale? Is it Longdale? Well, we're
And
just
my
celebrities,
grandson
aren't we?
lives on there.
Okay.
He's a Lormann, and he lives on Lormann Circle.
Well, that is good. I didn't realize that. I'm so glad you mentioned that. Longdale is a kind of a, well, a subdivision, let's face it. A lot of them don't want to be called that. They want to say it's a development or whatever, but that's north of my house.
It was the first development.
Yes, virtually the first one.
And my husband was involved in that.
And it kind of faced on, or was next to the cemetery, where it was built. They started building Longdale. The cemetery is
street's that?
old cemetery.
What street is that?
Grant. You keep going north on Grant. If you were at the light, you would go north. Is all I
Orange
can think of.
Avenue,
Yeah, Orange Avenue, Orange or Palmetto or Magnolia. Some of those streets in
One
there.
of those
One of those streets. And you get to the cemetery ultimately. You keep on going north.
Do you remember when some of the other subdivisions were built?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I don't know
now
what-
she has one now near her now called Wildmere subdivision or development. Off of Wildmere, that's the name of the street that she lives on, and they named it development Wildmere.
Skylark.
Well, yeah, now that's another one that was north of.
Do you
out there.
remember when that one was built?
Soon after Longdale. What about?
Early 70s?
Yeah, I would say. Would you
Middle
say in the
70s?
70s?
Wait a minute. I came
Maybe
into
the
office in '74, and I'm trying to think.
Skylark wasn't built then, wasn't started then, was it?
I don't think so.
Okay, maybe it was in the 80s
No.
then. Because I do remember it was a long
Yeah.
time. And my friend,
As a matter of fact, I think
That's
I
where
was on
Fran
the
lived.
commission when Skylark started.
Fran
might have
Sanders lives out there.
Who?
I believe it's Skylark Sanders, Fran Sanders. She's with the telephone company for 20, 30 years. She used to live down there on 434 to our right, to the right of our where we live. And we had orange groves, all in there.
Yeah.
And she was facing onto 434, and then they decided to widen it, so she moved back to Skylark, I think, or it might have been Longdale.
Do you know I think every commissioner, except maybe one, that I was served with has passed away.
Have what? Passed away? Oh my goodness! Well, that's
Do you remember?
June.
Do you remember Larry Goldberg?
Yes, I do
Yeah,
remember Larry
Yeah,
Goldberg.
he died.
Yes, he did.
Can you remember some other names? of some?
Yeah. What are some other names? That's what I was trying to get you to do a while ago. Name some people that.
I wish I could remember.
I just think of the people that live right around you there in Weimar because I knew you and would see them and so on.
the
But,
Mitchells and the Blantons and the
but
and
like
the one
with
that
the
lives
Goldbergs.
on the corner is a air-conditioned man, Glenn. What's his last name? It starts with an H.
Well, I know you must remember the Scotts. This is another
Oh,
family
yeah,
that
the
I want
Scotts.
to.
I forgot
And
about
you was in the women's club with us, and she died some time ago now. But her son Harry had moved up to Ocala, and another son Glenn is still living here with his family. And I had little Glinda in kindergarten or second grade, whatever. Well, I had her in school anyway. So I'm going to try to get in touch with Glenn and get him to tell me a little bit about his family because they're not here anymore. Bud died long before Eula did. And they had the garage on 427, which is right almost across from Lyman. Is it about across from Lyman? No, before you get to
It's
Lyman.
before you get to Lyman.
On the right-hand side there as you're going toward Lyman School.
There's a
It's-
beauty shop there.
Yeah.
Contemporary
That's
beauty.
where I go to have my hair done.
Oh, is it?
Scott's
Well,
Garage.
Uh-huh.
And they converted
It's the
it.
same girl.
Uh-huh. Same girls. You remember Chella, who was from Panama, who had a beauty parlor up on 1792? All right, well, these girls came to work for Chella and started with her there. And she just passed away about 2 years ago.
Oh, Chella did?
Yeah,
Oh.
but she kept the shop, for years, all that long. And in the meantime, the girls who went there to work for her, that's when I started going there. And I've been with this one now for 25 years, Janet. But in the meantime, Janet and Sue was there for a while, Carol was there for a while, and they left. But another one, who is Candy, spelled with a K, married Chella's son.
Oh,
And their names were Ansley, Ansley. That's another family that was around for quite a long while.
Weren't they related to the Grants?
Yes,
Yeah. That name.
yeah. I think she was an Ansley. I think Mrs. Grant was.
I
Maybe
think,
that's how they were
yeah,
related.
that's probably how.
So I'm just going to try to see them as well and talk with them when I get my hair done next time and see what I can do about getting Candy. However, they're so much younger. I'm trying to get old timers, but I have to sometimes get the young people if the old timers are gone.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try to talk with them and see if I can get Glenn Scott over there to talk with me at the same time, And they're going to tear that down in
Oh,
January.
they are?
Yeah, I'd like to take a picture of it before they do that.
Oh, my
That old
goodness.
garage.
Oh.
He used to sell fuel
She'll have
oil.
to move then.
Mr. Scott used to haul fuel oil in
We
the
used
truck
to buy fuel oil.
and sell it to everybody in Longwood. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
We had big old tanks out back behind the house they have to have him come into, and he'd drive in there and hook it up and stand
Fill it
there,
up.
fill it up, and we had that for our heat. And Mr. Scott, basically that's what he did. He ran this filling station, but he also had the fuel oil business. And that building is still standing there, and they were going to tear it down because Janet told me the other day they have to start hunting and looking for a new place
Wonder
for a
what
beauty
they're going
parlor.
to put up there.
I don't think so. Anything right now. I don't think I don't think they know. They just said they're going to clear that property and maybe sell it. I don't know. Glenn doesn't. I don't think even have any part ownership. I don't think they even have any. I don't know how that is worked out, but he was at one time part of the ownership. But the kids were supposed to be dividing it up, and they had a little argument.
Do you remember any other businesses that maybe were here when you first came that aren't anymore?
Yeah.
Moon's.
Department store. You know where the, what's the name of that?
That little cafe that's there on the corner now in downtown Longwood.
That
She
used to be,
is a member of the Historic Society. Yeah.
the Moons had a
Clothing store.
clothing store
Oh,
there.
really?
It's spelled Moon, M-M-O-O-N.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, it was a bank. And somewhere in all my notes and clippings, I also ran across the fact that that's where the Masonic building was. First time we've really known, because remember when we were saying at the meeting one day, we didn't know where the Masonic building was? Linda Stearns, who used to be Linda Showmate,
Oh.
her name is Stearns now, is on the museum committee.
Oh.
And she's younger than I am, but she still does remember.
Yeah,
a
I
lot.
know. She
You know
came here
her.
to see me. Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Her mother died.
Donnie died.
Donnie died.
Yes, passed away.
No, she came
Several
here one
years
day
ago.
to see me.
She was 90-something. Annie was 91, I think, when she died. And just as sharp and chipper as you could imagine. And Linda's on the committee with Marla and I. And
Oh, really?
John
Oh.
Weisslein, he's the chairman for his brother. And we're doing these now, and we're also doing a book, trying to get a book together about old-timers in Longwood. So Linda is some help, even though she's younger than I am. She does remember a lot of these people and places and things. And she remarked about, she had never heard of a Masonic building. And I said, well, it was that little strip of stores right in there. McReynolds had a drugstore right next to the bank,
Yeah.
and that was later Moon's.
Mhm.
And then we had the other stores along the other side there, and apparently the Masonic Masons had their building there.
Do you remember other things that have been in the Longwood Hotel? There's been several things in
In
there.
the Longwood Hotel, a restaurant.
That was in a...
Grace Bradford had a restaurant in there. Where is she now? Do you know?
She passed away.
Did she?
Yes, Grace died about 3 or 4 years ago, maybe longer. She was instrumental in getting the hotel renovated, and she did put a restaurant in there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was quaint. She had a lot of antiques, so she put them in there, and it was nice.
And the food was good.
Well, there was a disco in there in the 70s.
Yeah, that's what happened afterwards.
That was after the
Yeah.
restaurant?
Mm-hmm.
The owners were, well, it's kind of a long story. I'll have to tell you. Did you have a chance to look at those clippings I gave you about the little town hall? Well, I have a lot of clippings, as you know. I'll find some and read them or show them to you about the hotel, because there's quite a history there. Do you remember though?
We
how it
were
was?
talking, the city commission one time was talking about buying the hotel for our chambers, you know.
Chamber of Commerce used to meet there.
I know.
You had the Chamber of Commerce, that was their headquarters there for a while.
But we were going to buy it, and then I don't know what happened. Anyway, we built onto our building, I think.
And then you had a separate place.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the lady that sat there, and I can't say her name right now. But she was, I have some pictures of her too, at her desk at the hotel. Mr. Clouser built that hotel for his great-great-grandfather. And I always loved the stairwells, the double stairs, one on either side, that they curve and come down. He was supposed to be well known, you know, very good at stairs.
Mm-hmm.
So he did that with a lot of his houses. And he's well known in Longwood in that sense that he built a lot of houses there, as well as the hotel. And he built the little chapel, which is on Fort. There's a 6th and Altamont.
Yeah.
And but he didn't build the chapel in Longwood. Cersei's built that.
Mm-hmm.
You remember the Cersei's?
And yeah, the name.
The
yeah.
family.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember that lady.
They're some of the very first families who settled in Longwood.
They lived in
Church, which is really an extension
a
of.
street. Anyway, yeah, the reason I remember is because a hurricane came and her house was almost flooded, you know, where she lived. And she called my husband 50 dozen times to come over. and he'd go over, but
Nothing but she could do.
no.
Oh, which hurricane was that? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember.
Long time ago, though.
Yeah,
You
well,
see, she had 3 stories there.
it'd have to be before 60. Well, it was probably in the early 60s.
And she lived alone because he passed away early on, Mr. Cersei.
Did she?
And she was there alone a long time. And I have a picture of her just with her little bed and her dog sitting in that one little room that she stayed in most of the time. Now, do you know who lives there now? It's Sarah Poloyan. And she was a Poloyan, but she's now a Cassigian. In fact, she's remarried again. She's now
Is
Jabari.
Gladys okay? Polonia?
Gladys is doing pretty well. Pretty well, thank you. Yes,
Can she
is.
see?
She can't see, no. She's blind.
Mm-hmm.
She has
She
a
used
problem.
to come to the beauty shop, and I'd see her
Yeah.
once in a while.
Yeah.
But I haven't.
I heard a little noise. Do you need to go and see about anything? Is
No.
anybody here that you need
One
to...
of our truck.
Oh, he's
truck's
coming in
coming
with the
in.
truck. Oh, my goodness.
And,
That's close.
that,
Look how he's going to do
that's
that.
Wayne Honeycutt, Paul's and Sandy's son. Or
They have a
Paul's-
son that
Well, if
old.
he was married
Oh,
before and he
because
had
you
2
just
children.
old to leave
And this is one of them.
Okay.
So he
Man,
runs
how'd
the
he do
business
that?
now practically.
He pulled in there so close at an angle, but he backs out. He has to back out at an angle too.
Huh?
We're just talking about how he gets in and out of there.
Oh, yeah.
Carol, how about those buildings across from the hotel? Is that the corner of Church and Ronald
Uh-huh.
Reagan?
That's the
There's
buildings I'm talking about. That's where Moon's
There's
was.
an attorney.
Oh, I thought you were
It used
talking
to be
about
the
the other
Women's
way.
Club across there.
Well, that's where the old
Oh
post
no!
office-
Oh yeah, I was
No,
talking about
Woman's
the opposite
Club.
Where
building.
the old post office is.
The old post office was on the corner. I can't remember east or west or
There's a hardware store with the post office next to it. the little-
yeah, over there on that side.
There must have been several different things in those.
I'll have to
How
show
do you
some
remember?
pictures.
You're so too young to remember.
I
She's
just remember where they
learning-
are now, but
yeah,
I don't
she's just
remember what was in
learning
them.
about all this. Really,
I thought you might have remembered some of the different businesses that have been.
you
in
knew the
there.
Paynes.
Mm-hmm.
There, she was a postmistress for a lot of years,
Didn't she pass?
and he had the hardware store. Do you mean? Surely you don't mean Martha? She's still living. The older Mrs. Payne, of course, has passed away years and years ago.
No.
Martha married Jim Payne.
That's one.
Yeah, you're thinking of her. They live in Tennessee now.
Oh.
They moved. She and Glenda moved there. Glenda has never married, and so she's with her mother, living in Tennessee, and seemed to be very happy. And I just wrote him a letter, and said, if by any chance you might be coming to Longwood any time in the future, we'd love to interview you and talk to you because she can tell us about Jim and his family. And Martha's probably our age, or a little younger than we are, maybe. But Jim, of course, was coach and teacher at Lormann for 20 years or so, I think. He coached a lot of guys, a lot of our kids. And he settled there, and I don't know how they came to be there, how he came to be there in the first place, but he married Martha, and she did live in Longwood until about probably 2 years ago, I'll say. And they were at the old Slade Airport property when they lived out there in the boonies. That was where the old Slade Airport used to be. A lot of people don't realize we had an airport in Longwood.
Yeah, remember another subdivision that was Windsor Manor.
Oh, Windsor Manor. That's right off of 434. And it's still there. It's doing well.
Yeah.
And the Woodlands.
No, not the Woodlands.
The Woodlands came
That's
along long
county.
later.
That was in the county.
Oh, that's in the county? I didn't realize that.
Well, it probably has a Longwood address.
Now it may be, did they annex it, you suppose? Because that's what my
I
contractor
don't think
lives.
they've gone that
My
far.
contractor lives in the Woodlands.
I
I'm
don't
going to ask
think-
him.
I don't think they've gone that far.
But the Paynes, as I said, would have quite a bit of history to tell us about. I don't have much of information at all on the Slade Airport. And there were, I think 2 brothers, 2 Slades. One was Fred, and the other I think was John. But I'm not sure. That's my husband's brother and his. Thing. So anyway, Fred and somebody Slade ran the airport. But I have a picture of Jim with this huge rattlesnake. It looks like he's holding it way up, and he's tall in the picture, and it must have been 6, 7, 8 feet long, that rattlesnake. I don't know. I've pictured him because we used to have snakes.
Yeah. A rattlesnake was in our backyard one time, and Jimmy, they were still home, and Jimmy took a shovel and threw it like that, and he got that snake.
He did?
Yeah.
How in the world did he ever do that
I
without?
don't know.
Oh, I'd be terrified. I
wouldn't
remember
be
seeing
too.
a snake one time that was not a rattlesnake, but I didn't know the difference at that time when I first moved to Longwood. And I had Walter in the stroller, and I ran like crazy and dragging him behind me to the device lines. You know, they were up on the corner up there where the assisted living is now. That's where they live. And I got him to get his shotgun and come down there, and he said, "That's not a rattlesnake. That's a rat snake." And it was yellow,
Horn
kind of,
snake,
color, but it didn't have any markings on it.
Yellow rat
And
snake.
as soon as he said it, I realized, but it was huge. And we did have rattlesnakes occasionally.
About this little industrial park, do you remember when it was built? This area right here?
Which one?
Right
Oh,
here, the
this
whole,
one?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was involved in this too.
What can you tell us about that?
No, I can't tell you about it.
Do you remember St. Lawrence?
St. Lawrence.
Uh-huh. Was he instrumental in getting this all built in here?
Yeah.
All this industry.
I think he still probably owns it.
Does he?
Uh-huh.
Georgia St. Laurent. He's well, I want to say a realtor, but not really. Mostly real estate is what he does.
I don't know.
What is he? What is his title? Do
I
you
don't know what he did, but he's...
And they're from, where is it they're from? Connecticut? No.
Wisconsin?
No.
Michigan.
And they
Or
owned the
something.
hotel at one time, briefly.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones I was starting to tell you a little bit ago about the changes that happened after Grace had it there. I think it was after. Maybe it was before. No, it was after, wasn't it? After Grace had it, George's St. Lawrence had it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm
And-
sure it was.
And they found the old buggy. We had a buggy out front there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And
Are they going to have a festival this year?
oh yeah,
It should be this month.
it's always the weekend before Thanksgiving.
Oh, I haven't seen anything about
Well, they haven't advertised yet, but they will. They'll put something in the paper soon.
Oh.
This is just the first week of November, so
Yeah, that-
probably the second or third week they'll have something in it.
Mhm.
It's always the weekend before Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
Every year for 25 years we've been having the festival.
it. I
And-
know it was this month sometime.
Yeah, it's always that you're right.
Mhm.
So that'll be coming up pretty soon. But George's St. Laurent was instrumental in almost all of this development in here.
Mhm.
When he came and developed all this, and I'm trying to think when that was. Because you asked.
Before the 70s?
Oh, yeah, no.
No.
You know,
In the
not
70s?
before
No.
the 70s. Oh,
It
no.
was in the 70s.
No. I started saying, oh, yeah, no. It was either 70s or 80s.
Yeah.
And
closer to-
I called and went to the office, wherever it is.
Excuse me.
Somehow I secured, bought from the bank when the bank, Fred had a little bank book that I found that